California Republican Congressman, that man right there, Devin Nunes, has filed a $150 million defamation lawsuit against McClatchy newspapers, accusing reporters of trying to derail his oversight work on the Clinton campaign and interference from Russia.
A couple of the reporters there were the biggest perpetuators of the Russia hoax. And so part of the lawsuit here is not only that, they need to retract everything that they did against me, but they also need to come clean with the American people, retract all of their fake news stories. So if you're out there and you lied and you defamed, we're going to come after you.
So here to weigh in is Fox News senior judicial analyst and host of Liberty File himself on Fox Nation, Judge Andrew Napolitano. Judge, he is confident. He's loaded for bear. Does he have a case?
I don't think he does. But again, it's going to be fact sensitive. Here's what he says they did. He says that they actually doctored things, that they put him in a photo that he really didn't appear in, and that they mysteriously changed the headline, and that their purpose was to smear him. Now, look.
The headline was, "A yacht, cocaine, prostitutes, winery partly owned by Nunes."
Correct.
Sued after fundraiser event. And Nunes said, you should have put in charity.
Right. I mean, he claims that he had nothing to do with any cocaine and nothing to do with any prostitutes. And there's no reason to disbelieve him on that. But his argument is that they did this in order to interfere with his effectiveness when he was the chair of the House Intelligence Committee. Now, what's the standard? The standard when a public person like Brian Kilmeade or any of us who's on television every day or a member of Congress is bringing a defamation suit, that person has to show that the defendant, the person you're suing, published a knowing falsity, published it, and they knew it was false at the time they published it, or that they were reckless in their concern for truth or falsehood. That standard is such a high bar. We're talking before the break, is he going to win? I said, I don't think so.
Really
the standard is so
because
high
he's a public figure.
Because the public figures never win. They sometimes get concessions, they sometimes get corrections, and that's really what he wants. I don't think he wants the $150 million, because I don't think he expects he's going to get it. The rules require you to state how much money you're looking for. He also wants to publicize this so that people like us will focus on aspects of our colleagues in the media who are doing shenanigans, not reporting and not opining, but creating things. We all know this happens to make somebody look bad.
But this is like the Covington, Kentucky kid who is now suing, the Washington Post and other people. They say, look, I wasn't a public figure and I was maligned.
I think that kid became a public figure, but without getting into that,
Congressman,
because of what happened in the media.
Yes, exactly. The media, correct.
It's not like he ran for public office.
Exactly. But Congressman Nunes is unmistakably a public figure, and I'm sure his lawyers know that, and they have to deal with it.
McClatchy says this in a comment on this. We have no comment and stand behind the strong reporting of the Fresno Bee. We'll see, because he's going to be calling out. Meanwhile, yesterday, the president got a huge brushback pitch from the courts, who said his idea of keeping would-be immigrants working their way to the border in Mexico while we decide their fate is unconstitutional.
Keeping would-be immigrants whose origin is not Mexico. So the president's real beef is people from Central America making their way through Mexico and knocking at the door in Texas. Because if they were from Mexico and they unmistakably are unqualified, they don't claim asylum, and they have no right to get in under any other part of the law, they can be sent right back over the border. But if they're from another country, they can't be sent to Mexico. They have to be detained until they have a hearing. And then the president says there's probably not enough judges in the country.
So he's going to work his way up the ladder now.
Yes.
So what happens in the meantime? Can we keep him in Mexico while it works its way through the system?
No. I've never seen an injunction like this. Not only did this judge stop it, but he ordered the people who actually filed the suit readmitted within 48 hours.
Activist courts.
Where is this going to go? The president's favorite circuit court of appeals, the Ninth Circuit, which will probably uphold it. We laugh at this. It happens so frequently. And then eventually the Supreme Court. How long will that take? Year and a half.
Congress could change the law, and boom.
Yes, and the judge said that. Look, the judge said, I'm not ruling on this because I want to do it or because I'm passing judgment on the law. I'm just following what Congress wrote. Wasn't this Congress? Yep. It was the last time they looked at this in 1986.
Okay. Thank you so much,
Pleasure,
Judge.
guys. Brian, that's a lot in one segment.
Right, you really did, Judge. We should give you a little bit extra money. Yeah, you're very proud of yourself.
Cheryl Atkinson on with me today on Liberty File on Fox Nation about how the government spied on her and the difficulties she's having suing the government.
I'm going to get the app just for that.
Thank you, Brian.
All right.
So
Thank
good.
you, Judge.